exactly what the Warriors did to the Cavs. After Golden State had dropped 4 straight to Cleveland in 5 of their last 6, the Warriors own the Cavs, a 35-point win. LeBron, Curry, how you feeling?
This one game, we don't get a trophy for this one, but it is a good reminder that we're on top of our game and playing at a very high level. We're tough to beat.
They put it on us real good, and it started with the transition buckets. I think they had 34 in the first half, and obviously you can't recover from that. So they played a hell of a game, and they was clicking on all facets of the game.
Max,
yep.
What'd you see?
I saw a regular season game, and the Golden State Warriors are the all-time kings of the regular season. And LeBron James, they call them the Cleveland Cavs, they're the LeBron James Cavs. LeBron James's Cavs aren't worried about the regular season. All LeBron James is focused on is getting this group together to make a run in the postseason so that they can win the finals. In the game itself, you saw the equivalent of splitting the atom on offense with this Golden State Warriors team. You knew that was going to happen when they got Kevin Durant. They look offensively unstoppable. You did see a little age in Cleveland. Kyrie is young. LeBron is getting up there. Kevin Love is in his prime, but some of the supporting cast is older. They miss J.R. Smith a little more than I thought maybe they would. They have to integrate Kyle Korver into the flow of things. But all that said, this is a regular season game. It was predictable. The Cavs are on a difficult road trip. They looked tired before the game started. They played tired. I can't take anything away from this game that I can apply to the finals. Right now, as was the case last year, the Warriors are the better team.
Well, here's the thing. I get where you're coming from, and we can't deny that it's just a regular season game. We can't run away with it. I get that. But there's a clear difference between Kevin Durant and, Harrison Barnes with Andrew Bogut offensively. I mean, when you consider the fact that Kevin Durant is averaging 26 on 53% shooting, that Steph Curry is averaging 24.7 points on 46% shooting, that Klay Thompson is the third wheel and still averaging 21 on 47% shooting. These guys are marksmen. They have that it factor. And at any given moment, they can explode and simply annihilate you. Because you look at them and how potent they are offensively, and I'm watching the Cleveland Cavaliers, and last night was no indication from this respect. They took the night off. I don't know whether it was because it was Martin Luther King holiday. It was a day after the Cowboys had lost, and LeBron James, being the ultimate Cowboy fan, was sitting there and they're all depressed and all of this other stuff.
I bring the Cowboys into
the Dallas Cowboys do have that effect on some of its pathetic fan base. There's no doubt, and LeBron is included in that because he's a Cowboys fan. They did not look like they wanted to play last night. That was clear. As far as I'm concerned, they took the night off. They gave up 79 points in the first half. 79 points in the first half. That's not something that you're going to see normally from the Cleveland Cavaliers. But what has to be noted is the length. And what you paid attention to was what P.J. Carlissimo and I were on SportsCenter last night talking about together and all of this other stuff. This team is number 1 in steals. They're number 1 in blocks. They're number 1 in disrupted shots. And because of that, what do you look at? Then it reminds you, Kevin Durant, take away the explosiveness offensively. He's 6'10", 6'11", with a 7'6" wingspan. That's a problem when he's defending on the perimeter. You look at an Andre Iguodala, he's legit 6'6", okay, with really, really long arms. That's a problem. Everybody looks at the babyface assassin, that is Steph Curry. Forget his shooting for a second. The dude is a legitimate 6'3", with long arms himself. And we all know that Klay Thompson is one of the better two-way players in the game of basketball who can defend, and he has length as well. So the length that they have, you have to literally muscle and pound the ball inside and beat them up. And when you've got a guy, Jaja, Pajulia, and others, if they're active bodies, because you have these guys constantly sneaking in, using their length to block from behind or steal passes or what have you, that's the key ingredient to the Golden State Warriors' success. So watching that, yes, it was a regular season game, Max, and I totally get you on that. But it's clear that this team is a tad bit different, exponentially more explosive offensively because of Kevin Durant, but defensively because of his length in concert with the others. They're sneaky defensively, which means that in order for the Cavs to beat them, they have to have a great game 4 times.
Look, we knew this when they made the Durant move because they lost Bogut. They were going to miss Bogut in the beginning, and they did. And they miss him less now, I think, than they did in the beginning of the season.
Yep.
And they have to integrate a major, it's just one piece, really, but it is a major piece in Kevin Durant. Here's the issue with all of this. Everything you're saying is right, of course, but the issue is Golden State's in a position where they can't, what's the expression? They can't win for losing, lose for winning. I never understood that expression entirely, except for maybe right now.
I can't believe you don't understand something.
That's true. By going all out like this and blowing the Cavs out, in a way, Golden State plays themselves. In a way, they play themselves like, oh, this is your finals? You know, this is the big deal, regular season game. Cavs ain't worried about that. In a way, the Cavs couldn't lose. They're on a tough road trip. They going in, you knew Golden State's going to blow them up. You knew they were going to get blown out. And so when it happens, it's like, yeah, the Cavs ain't sweating this. They didn't sweat this last year. LeBron is still in the kind of early stages of getting his crew together for a championship run. And the 73-win regular season team from last year that choked in the finals can do nothing here to take that away. If they blow the Cavs out, it's like, look at you. You think this is what's important. What's important is in the in the playoffs. So it kind of undermines them. And if they lose, it's even worse.
It's also contingent on what you believe. And here's what I mean by that. Last year, I was very disgusted because, as you know, we get up early to do First Take and what have you. And I had to go to Cleveland to cover last year's game between Cleveland and the Golden State Warriors in Cleveland. Remember the Jimmy Fee Foundation? They won the contest. They had, you know, the prize was spending the evening watching the game with me.
What a prize.
The Warriors were up 43.
Were you berating the person the whole time?
Not at all. Not at all. I was very kind, very nice,
yeah.
the gentleman that I am. But the thing about it is that they were up 43 on Cleveland. What I saw that day was just marksmen. Steph Curry was on another level. They was hitting shots from all over the place. Cleveland was off, and it was a bad sign. But what happened is that when you got to the finals, you looked at them, and you got to remember, they were still up 3-1 before Draymond Green got suspended. And so now you look at this team, and you're saying, yeah, they just got Kyle Korver with Cleveland. That upgrades them. You saw Golden State lose when Kevin Durant fell on his backside, you know, at Cleveland. But you watched them last night, and you're just literally scratching your head like, how you going to stop these boys? And then you're looking at a LeBron, and you're seeing guys switch on him, and you're seeing them double down into the paint, and what you're basically saying is, you're going to have to beat us from out there. Well, Kyrie dances on you before he shoots, all right? LeBron steps back and shoots, all right? Where's your post presence? Where can you get away with bully ball? You can take LeBron, put him in the post. He can wreak havoc that way, particularly when you got shooters on the wing in a Love, in a Korver, in a Kyrie that can hit those shots. I'm just saying because of the link that I'm seeing with Golden State, it's going to be significantly more difficult. And that bothers me because that goes back to what you and I opened the season talking about when I said Kevin Durant ruined the damn season because of the
season.
Because of the thrill, the suspense that he
there's never any suspense in an NBA season. That's for football and baseball. Basketball, in the beginning, we know what the finals are going to be. The fun is watching the finals. Look, we knew when they added Kevin Durant. Let's even back it up. The first time these two teams met a couple of years ago in the finals, LeBron's crew got hurt.
Yep.
And yet he went 6 competitive games with Golden State. Yep. So those who liked Cleveland last year said if he doesn't have Kyrie or Kevin Love and loses in a tough 6-game series, and now he has them both, there's a good chance he'll win. And he did. Although it was very tough, but he did it. This year, it's like, yeah, we know it's to change and everything, but if you take a 73-win team that barely lost in 7 games and add Kevin Durant, basically take away Harrison Barnes and Andrew Bogut and add Kevin Durant, logic tells you that by the end of the season, by the postseason, by the playoffs, they will be a better team. And if they barely lose to Cleveland last year, they're going to win. The talent is just stacked up too high. Strategically, too much of an advantage. Those who still like the Cavs because the 2 best players on the Warriors, Durant and Steph Curry, have yet to show up big time in the finals. And the 2 best players on the Cavs, LeBron and Kyrie, have. That's what it comes down to. Golden State should win on talent. Maybe the Cavs could win on heart. Last night, I don't think showed us anything about that stuff because it was a regular season game with an easy outcome.
And you and I disagree. You and I disagree because I think what we saw last night is defensively how formidable Golden State can be. We saw the change there.
No question.
I get you with everything else, but defensively, we saw a change.
You know what else LeBron knows how to do? Draw a flake.